Production support for the Friday Zone is provided by the Margaret A. Cargill Foundation and by WTIU members. Thank you.
We're gonna rock with some girls
and roll into a Bluegrass Bootcamp.
plus a music lesson from Kid Kazooey.
Come join us in the zone and help us find our rhythm.
You're not alone. You're in the zone. So hang up the phone and get in the zone. Get in the zone. The Friday Zone. You're in the zone. The Friday Zone. Everyone is invited to come. Everyone is invited to come. Everyone is invited. Get in the zone. Everyone is the Friday Zone.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another season of the Friday Zone. In today's episode, we are going to learn all about rhythm. Whether you like picking a banjo or showing off your skills on a drum set, we've all got a little rhythm in us.
Well, actually, the closest thing I ever came to finding my rhythm was banging my mom's pots and pans. But honestly, it's a perfect example of how rhythm can be found absolutely anywhere.
Right.
It can even be found in the sound of rain, the chirp of a cricket, and even in the beating of your heart.
That's right, Emily. Rhythm can be found anywhere. And for this group of young girls, they found it in rock and roll. We caught up with some very talented musicians at the Girls Rock Indie Camp, and they taught us about much more than just rock during these lessons in this Friday Zone investigation.
When you think of rock and roll, usually images of men dressed in leather playing electric guitar spring to mind, but not for these amazing girls. The Friday Zone field crew traveled to the Girls Rock Indie Camp in Indianapolis, Indiana, where we found that you don't have to be a boy to know how to rock. We meet up with Sharon Rickson, one of the founders of the program, to find out how this camp got its start.
Girls Rock Indie started exactly 1 year ago. This is our second camp. I caught wind that Seattle was having its first ever Girls Rock Camp. It's like, 3 years ago, and I went out and checked it out and learned from them and saw what it kind of takes and how they operate and said, man, we really need one in Indianapolis.
We spoke to Lindsay Manfredi to learn more.
As soon as she got back, we got to work and started getting the whole community involved and trying to make it happen. And we had a super successful camp of 40 girls last year, so we thought, okay, next year we're gonna get 60.
And that is exactly what they did. Over 60 girls joined them this summer to learn rock and roll, team building, and empowerment.
We value music as a means to create personal and social change. Music is a great dialogue opener. It's a great teaching tool. We value diversity. We value integrity, honesty, and respect, all things like that. And we just really want these girls to grow up to be strong, independent-minded women that are confident and courageous and very good and strong members of their communities.
At this camp, the girls are taught a variety of instructions and lessons, from history of women in rock to a workshop on body image, not to mention the hours of instrument and vocal training sessions. At the start of the camp, campers are broken up into groups.
The girls are separated by age, so there's 8 to 12 and then 13 to 16. The MP3s are the younger girls and the vinyls are the older girls. And so we team them together, but they pick their own band.
Once the girls pick their instruments, they're divided into classes for vocalists, guitar, bass, and drums. Once they learn their individual instruments, as a band, they embark on their most important part of camp, writing their own song.
That's the empowering process about it, is they are writing their own music. And some of these girls have never touched an instrument before.
We spoke to the band Lindsay coach to find out more.
They really teach you how to rock, because it's not just sitting there playing your instruments or singing into a mic. You have to put emotion into the music. They kind of help teach you how to do that.
I guess you could consider yourself lucky if you go through a traumatic experience before Girls Rock, because once you come here, you can express yourself in any way imaginable
And self-expression is what this camp is all about.
It all comes to a head on Saturday where they actually get to perform the song in front of a live audience of family, friends in Indianapolis as a community, and they get to play the song that they wrote during camp. It's their chance to be a rock star on stage.
If they can play an instrument in front of people and be so well received that like they can just go do anything. They get up there with confidence, perform, and then they are instantly validated by their whole week of hard work with just an uproar of applause.
Me personally, rock and roll has saved my life. Being in a band and having some kind of creative outlet. I wasn't a cheerleader, I wasn't into sports, I was into music growing up. And there are so many girls out there that are like that.
So, Friday Zone viewers, if you're not near one of the 33 girls rock camps here in America and still want to rock out, Sharon has some advice for you.
Look toward your public library. You know, tons of great books. Look online. You can find online lessons to get you started. Maybe you can hook up with find a local musician to mentor you and give you lessons. You know, check out your local music shop and try to take a guitar lesson or a drum lesson.
I think it's a really amazing thing that Neon Live Life is doing for us. It's going to change these girls' lives for the better.
If you want to get involved, go to girlsrockindy.org and sign up.
Sign up for Girls Rock. It's really awesome.
Wow, those girls really are amazing, aren't they? It's nice to see that no matter what your background, music can bring us all together. And that's just what our next bunch of campers found out. Come join us as we visit Bean Blossom, Indiana, and check out a Bluegrass Bootcamp in this Friday Zone field trip.
The title Boot Camp might sound a little misleading at first, but enter the gate and perhaps Boot Camp is right.
Guys, not now. Mandolins right here. Guitars here.
These kids are serious about learning bluegrass.
There aren't a lot of kids that play bluegrass music anymore, so to have them all come here in one place and then they build friendships here.
Wasson rounds up around 75 students during the Bill Monroe Bluegrass Music Festival into 3 different groups according to skill level for banjo, guitar, fiddle, and mandolin. Each group learns their set of songs before performing together on the Bean Blossom stage.
There's a lot of pressure. I mean, you only get 2 days to learn multiple songs, and you really got to kind of work at it, and you got to pay attention. You have to have a willingness to learn.
Okay, they're going to play 3 notes basically, 1, 2, 3, and then everybody comes in, so listen for it, okay?
Parent Penny Lane Deersing says it's powerful to watch the kids progress.
Because you watch them go from little groups to this huge group, and it's just amazing. I mean, it's just amazing, and to watch the children, and at nighttime they walk around the campground and they're jamming, and they just walk up and these little kids are playing this stuff, and it's just amazing. You look at them, they're like 8 years old, you know, beautiful.
Learning bluegrass isn't easy, but achieving the challenge of performing a song is part of the reward.
So he was more of a rock and roll guy, and I said, Carson, try it out, and he went to the first lesson the first day and said it was extremely hard, but he loved it, and he's been coming ever since.
The other part is sparking an interest in carrying the tradition of bluegrass music. Zach McNew is 10 and has been playing 4 months.
I like to hunt, draw, and play the banjo.
This year, he's with the beginner banjo group.
I think 17.
Olivia Nixon has been part of boot camp since it began 6 years ago.
I have a lot of it on my iPod. It's kind of embarrassing sometimes. We'll be at a party and we'll put my iPod on shuffle, you know, Jimmy Martin or something will come on. I'm like, ooh, no one else here appreciates that. Better change the song.
Olivia never had a teacher. Boot camp is the only instruction she's had. That's what motivates Wasson to work with these kids every year.
I get a lot of pride that I'm working with a group that's able to do what they're able to do. Tuesday on stage, it's going to be amazing. Seeing the parents watch their kids, that's a lot of fun.
Finally, the moment has come. The hard work pays off. The reward, much more than the round of applause.
I plan on coming to Bean Blossom for the rest of my life and making my kids do boot camp, and I'm just going to keep it in my family.
For Wasson, her work is done.
So, we've learned that whether you play bluegrass or rock, the basis for it all is
Rhythm.
rhythm. That's right. With me today is Kid Kazooey and my friends Grant and Destiny to teach us a little bit about how to find our groove. So, Kid, what do you got for us today?
Well, what time is it?
I don't know, what time is it?
It's time to have band practice. It's time to sing and dance around the room at band practice. It's time to play our favorite tune at band practice. Get out the instruments and play along to our favorite song. Kid Kazooey and the Friday Zone Band went E-I-E-I-O. And in that band they all played pianissimo. What's pianissimo? E-I-E-I-O. Pianissimo here, played pianissimo there. They played pianissimo about everywhere. Kid Kazooey and the Friday Zone Band went E-I-E-I-O. Kid Kazooey and the Friday Zone Band went E-I-E-I-O. And in that band, they all played the opposite of pianissimo, and the opposite of pianissimo is forte! E-I-E-I-O. They played forte here and forte there. They played forte everywhere. Kid Kazooey and the Friday Zone Band went E-I-E-I-O. Kid Kazooey and the Friday Zone Band went E-I-E-I-O. And in that band, they all played adagio, which of course means what? Slow. E-I-E-I-O. They played so slow. Here and slow there. They played so slow about everywhere. Kid Kazooey and the Friday Zone Band went E-I-E-I. Oh! And in that band, they all played the opposite of adagio, and the opposite of adagio is allegro, which means what? Fast! Fast! E-I-E-I-O, they play so fast, here and fast, there, here, fast, there, fast, everywhere, so faster, and faster, and faster, faster! Rima, andale, andale! Kid Kazooey and the Friday Zone Band went E-I-E-I. Oh! Yeah! Woo! Cha-cha-cha.
You guys are pretty good. You guys play instruments at all?
Yeah.
Destiny, what instruments do you play?
Guitar.
Guitar, how long have you been doing it for?
5 years.
Wow. And Grant, how about you?
Bagpipes.
Bagpipes. Now, where do bagpipes come from? I don't even know.
Scotland.
Scotland, that's right. So do you have a kilt and...
Yes.
Great, awesome. So, do you guys have any tips for any of our viewers out there if they want to make music at home?
Yeah. If you want to play what I'm playing, it's a drum, you can just take pots and pans and bang them together.
Great idea.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
And if you want to play with maraca, you can take a can, like an oatmeal can, put beans in it, and you shake it, and it sounds like a maraca.
Oh,
Right on.
fantastic ideas. We got some real music enthusiasts today, I think, kid.
Yeah. Well, let's take that enthusiasm and practice some beats. All right? Beat number 1, I'll show you how it's done. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Come on. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Count it with me. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Well, kid, that's some great stuff.
Well,
we
let's-
really learned about rhythm, but we'll have to get back to you in a little bit because we got to get to the next segment. Thank you so much, and thank you guys for hanging out and helping us teach everyone a little bit about rhythm. So, thank you for that rhythmic lesson. Now, let's discover the origins of rhythm from across the globe as we navigate through the Rhythm Discovery Center in this Friday Zone Flashback.
Strike a membrane with a stick and the ear fills with noise. Unmelodious, inharmonic noise. Strike it a second time, a third, you've got rhythm. This quote follows you throughout your journey through the world of percussion at the Rhythm Discovery Center in Indianapolis, Indiana. When visiting the Discovery Center, your ear can't help but to be flooded with the vibrations of rhythm. As a matter of fact, the first sound you hear when entering the center is a heartbeat. Marketing and Communications Director John Fustel explains.
From our perspective, rhythm is innate. It is in all of us from before birth through your mother's heartbeat. And the first thing that you hear when you come through the Discovery Center is a heartbeat.
As you wind your way through the 4 main halls of the Discovery Center, you will first come across the evolution of percussion, including wooden instruments, drums made of animal membrane, and then into the metal era.
And that entrance experience is really to kind of give you kind of a history of rhythm and kind of how it evolved through percussion. So you start off, hearing the heartbeats and hearing sounds of nature and just kind of showing how rhythm is everywhere and in everyone. And then we kind of show you some old wood instruments that were used in Africa, and drums that were made of wood were used for communicating.
One of the main attractions of the Discovery Center can be found in the evolution portion of your tour. The 8-foot drum. This giant hands-on drum donated to the exhibit by the Remo Corporation can be hit with a huge mallet to produce the sound. And if you stand close enough to it, you can even feel the vibrations let off by sound waves.
The big drum is typically what a lot of people see right away, and they absolutely love it.
The second leg of the tour is called the Journey of Rhythm, and this follows the popular rhythm known as clave through several countries, and how it has influenced music you might hear today, including jazz.
One of our exhibits is called Journey of a Rhythm, and it's about the rhythm called clave. And that rhythm is the root of a lot of different music and is found in a variety of cultures. And this gallery kind of walks you through the evolution of that rhythm and how it is used and found in those different cultures.
And what would music be without the true pace setters of the musical world?
Another gallery that we have is focused around an innovator and a true icon in the percussion world. His name is Claire Omar Musser. He was a composer, and what we're doing is also focusing on how inventive he was with percussion instruments.
Claire made what is known as a celestial phone, or a xylophone type instrument made entirely out of meteors.
But he had actually sent these stones to be melted, and then he created the celestiphone from that.
The next stop on our tour through the Rhythm Discovery Center is an exhibit titled Setting the Scene. If you have ever been watching a movie and the squeak of a door or the pounding of footsteps have gotten your heart beating, that is percussion. But it didn't start on the big screen. Early vaudeville theaters used what is known as a Foley artist to enhance the performance with sound effects. One of the major parts of this exhibit is the percussion machine used in the Paramount Theater in New York City in 1926. This mechanism, when put together entirely, weighs 33 tons.
You might not always recognize that you're hearing percussion or know what you're hearing on the radio, but it is people actually doing sound effects.
If modern-day musicals are more your style, then John has just the thing for you.
We also have an area dedicated to the Broadway musical Wicked. And a lot of people hear the percussion, but maybe don't understand how extensive the percussion setup is for that one person playing that part. So we have a full list of all of the instruments used, and then we also have a map of that percussion setup on the wall.
To round out the Setting the Scene gallery, you can test your knowledge of the popular TV show The Simpsons and play along to the theme song with bongos and a snare drum. And speaking of playing along, if walking through the gallery has you itching to put your musical talents to test, then visit the hands-on area.
We have an awesome area that is purely dedicated for everyone to actually jam out and get their hands on instruments. It's a whole room with drums, shakers, rattles, instruments from all around the world that you can just grab off the shelf and just start playing on. So you get to feel it and experience it. You don't have to be a musician or a drummer to get it. You can make the sounds yourself.
The exhibit also has 2 high-tech soundproof practice rooms with several interesting-looking drum sets where you can flex your percussion muscles and jam out.
They actually have technology in them that's virtual. So you can go in there and shut the door, and then in one of the rooms we have a drum set and some Latin percussion instruments. And you can, by the push of a button, you can play in a large arena, or if you want to play in a small recital hall, you push a different button and the acoustics of that sound room change.
Even if you're not a talented musician like Claire Omar Muser, and you just enjoy shaking the rattles or playing the bells in the hands-on room, everyone is surrounded by rhythm, and it is a part of us all.
You don't have to be a musician to, to hit things, or tap on the counter or tap on a table or something like that. We think it's really important.
Friday Zone viewers, if we have sparked a musical interest in you and you would like to experience rhythm firsthand at the Rhythm Discovery Center, then you can visit them on the web at www.rhythmdiscoverycenter.org to find out more.
It is in everything and in everyone. It's rhythm, and because we're the Percussive Art Society, we have just taken rhythm and shown it through the lens of percussion.
What a unique place to visit. And what a place filled with a wonderful amount of extraordinary instruments. Well, here again to perform for us is Kid Kazooey. Welcome back. Destiny and Grant, we're glad you were here too. Now, we heard that you're going to be performing a song, but a story, but a dance.
Yeah, I call it story singing dance music. It's a song that tells a story that might make you want to shake your groove thing, shake your groove thing.
All right. Well, I think we're ready for it. Are you guys? All right. Well, the floor is all yours, Kid.
This is called The Three-Eyed Dragon. It's a tale of a knight, a princess, and a dragon. And it's going to be my first picture book very soon, very shortly.
All right.
The Three-Eyed Dragon. There once was a knight both strong and bold. He rode on throughout the land, and he fought for the princess's hand. She said that she could love no man who had not killed a dragon. So on his horse he rode throughout the night, and he came up to a dragon's den, and he asked, "Oh dragon, are you within?" And a husky voice answered, "Come in." It was the Three-Eyed Dragon. The Three-Eyed Dragon, she was a sight to see. 2 eyes just for looking around, and the third one just for me. The Three-Eyed Dragon, she stole my heart away. Since that day, no one's ever looked at me that way. So the night he rode back home to set the record straight. He looked the princess in the eye. And what he saw there made him cry. He said that he could rather die than to kill the three-eyed dragon. I won't do it. In fact, said he to her, well, I found another bride. She may not be as cute as you, but she has 3 eyes and you've only got 2. And there's nothing that I'd rather do than be with my 3-eyed dragon. The 3-eyed dragon, she was a sight to see. 2 eyes just for looking around, and the 3rd one just for me. The 3-eyed dragon, she stole my heart away. Since that day, no one's ever looked at me that way.
Hey! I've got to say, that's quite a tune you got there, Kid Kazooey.
Thank you very much.
Now, I hear that you actually put this together from a book, or was it the song first?
Kind of backwards. I wrote the song for a library class I took when I was a library student, and I've been singing the song for 16 years, and I thought it's time to turn it into a book. So I'm working with Bloomington's own illustrator, cartoon artist Joe Lee, and it'll be out hopefully in the next couple months.
Well,
Cool.
I'm excited. You must be a very fun librarian.
That's something you guys will have to check out, huh?
Yeah.
So,
Now, yeah, I was going to say, tell us exactly where people can find some information about you. I mean, you're rhythmically talented and musically talented.
You can go to the internet.
the internet.
KidKazooey.com. You can sign up for an email list to get notices of when I'm going to be playing shows, or find out when exactly this book's going to be finished. Cool. Since I can't tell you right now.
All right, wonderful. Well, that's all the time we have today. We want to thank you, Kid Kazooey, for coming in 2 times and showing us your rhythmic talents as well as your musical talents. We would also like to thank Destiny and Grant for helping us out in the zone today. You guys were great. Hope you had fun.
Remember, if this inspires you to pick up an instrument, make sure to get involved with a music program at your school or check out some cool music camps in your local area. Don't forget to write to us about your experiences and discoveries at www.fridayzone.org. You can download this or other episodes of The Friday Zone on iTunes for free.
And don't forget to live, learn, and play the Friday Zone way. We'll see you right here again next Friday. Goodbye.
Play us out there, Kid Kazooey. Production support for The Friday Zone is provided by the Margaret A. Cargill Foundation and by WTIU members. Thank you.